Hey, welcome to a mini edition of the Mostly NBA podcast. I'm Michael Higgins.
I'm Jacob Farrell.
And I'm Matt LeVay.
And we're just going to catch you guys up on the currently unfolding World Series. I'm going to try to get this podcast out to you guys a little quicker this week to keep relevance. Right now, Game 2 is going on. Cleveland Indians lead 1-0 over the Chicago Cubs, but the Cubs have taken a 2-0 lead into the fourth inning. So, guys, Game 1 was last night. Indians took it 6-0. You know, these games come in sort of rapid succession. They got an off day on the Thursday, and they're going to play games 3 and 4 on Friday and Saturday. So it's moving rather quickly. What did you guys think of the performances in Game 1?
I mean, I think just the biggest takeaway has to be Corey Kluber. I mean, he had 9 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, and 6 innings pitched. The dude just pitched out of his mind last night. The Cubs couldn't hit on him. And I guess his net starts, Game 4? So that's going to be a big game again.
Yeah, what I saw last night basically was complete domination on the field by the Indians. The Cubs just couldn't really get it going, and like you said, Corey Kluber just really took off and showed what he was made of.
He's always got that potential to come out and have a shutdown game, and he's really been on his game the entire postseason, which Indians have really needed with the losses of Carlos Carrasco and Danny Salazar, the numbers 2 and 3 starters for the Indians. Now Salazar had worked his way back, and he is on the roster for the World Series. As we speak, it's the 5th inning. We're actually watching it in the studio right now. 5th inning, and Salazar is in that Indians bullpen in case they need him, which they will throughout the series, as the Indians have chosen to go with 3 starters the remainder of the way. Just Kluber, Trevor Bauer, who pitched tonight and was taken out after 3 2/3, and Josh Tomlin. So that's a pretty thin rotation, but they've got that thick bullpen. You put Salazar in there. He's somebody who, with his normal experience as a starter, is going to eat innings for you. So it'll be interesting to see how he's used now that he's worked his way back. But the Indians are certainly at a disadvantage when it comes to starting pitching, and that's why their bullpen has been so important, in the playoff run thus far.
And if we could say, Jake Arrieta currently through this game at the top of the 5th does have a no-hitter at this moment in time. Just
Does
to
he
throw
really?
that out there, yes.
That's depressing.
It's kind of been a different story tonight. Jake Arrieta really came out tonight and showed that his team was worth rooting for as well. And it looks like, not to try and tell the future here, but it looks like the Cubs are looking pretty strong to take this one tonight.
Yeah, I hope the Indians can get something going against Arrieta. I actually was expecting the same kind of domination from John Lester last night, and he just really didn't have it. But definitely didn't expect back-to-back nights where the Cubs starters, as solid as they are going to get rocked. I mean, Arrieta coming off the Cy Young Award last season, he's definitely a guy that nobody wants to see in the postseason. But, Kluber was on his game last night, was able to beat Lester. So the Cubs really need Arrieta tonight. They need everything out of their team to come back to Chicago not down in a 2-0 hole. And they're a very resilient team. They don't have that much playoff experience, but this is a team that believes in themselves, believes in their talent. I mean, their talent's undeniable. On paper, the best team in baseball, also the best record in baseball in the regular season. And, at this point in the year, the Indians, they've been underdogs throughout the playoffs with their lack of stardom through their lineup and the injuries in the pitching rotation. So they don't really care for projections. They don't really care for picks, and they believe in themselves as well. But Chicago is certainly a team that's not just going to roll over after one game. So depending on when you're hearing this podcast, when we're able to publish this, I don't know what the series is going to be at that point in time. Like I said, these games are coming in rapid succession. If the Indians are able to get on the board, make something interesting, and possibly steal a win here tonight, going up 2-0 into Chicago, that's a pretty daunting deficit for the Cubs to face. But, there might not be any better home field advantage than Wrigley Field. So that would make for a very interesting series. As an Indians fan, I certainly wouldn't feel comfortable yet with that lead. On the other end of the spectrum, if Chicago's able to hold on in this game and, keep it a tie series 1-1 going back to Chicago, the pressure then falls on the Indians because the Cubs have stolen home field advantage if that were to happen. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I think the Indians are trying to get by on their bullpen. They're trying to get a lead early in the game and just get it to the bullpen up 1 to 2 runs at least, because that's sort of been their formula throughout the playoffs. They score a couple runs. They've scored first in most of their games. I believe all but one of their games they have scored first so far. They gave it to the bullpen, who has just absolutely shut down the opposition. Obviously, that didn't happen tonight, so they're looking for their bats to come back for them. So they're going to be riding that while Chicago is riding the hopes of their offense to pick it up against the Indians' depleted rotation. So definitely a fun World Series. Stressful for me, but it's great to see two teams in the World Series that haven't been there in a long time. It definitely adds intrigue. I think even to the outside viewer, it adds sort of an excitement. So it should be a fun series. We hope to talk about it next time because, the next time we talk, the series will be over. We'll have a champion. So something that'll be fun to talk about no matter what the outcome. So thanks for tuning in to this mini episode of the Mostly NBA podcast, bringing you the World Series from Game 2.